Welcome to Everlasting Talk.
Hello, welcome to Everlasting Talk. I'm your host, Ever, and today in the Biography series, we're talking about John F. Kennedy. Before we get started, make sure to go to my link tree or the link below and check me out on Instagram, X, YouTube, Spring, Blogger, Kick, Twitch, and like I said, get your merch on Spring. Let's get started. Why shall we? John F. Kennedy was the 35th president of the United States. His inspiring rhetoric to his leadership during the Cold War, Kennedy left an indelible mark on American history and the world stage. Born John Fitzgerald Kennedy on May 29, 1917, in Brookline, Massachusetts, in a prominent family, mostly politicians. He was the second oldest of nine children. Kennedy demonstrated early leadership qualities and a keen intellect, but did have health issues throughout his life, but overcame. He ended up attending Harvard from 1936 to 1940 with a bachelor's in arts in government. Was going to go to Yale for a master's, but the United States got involved in World War II. He attempted to enter the army, but due to his health issues, he had mostly back issues and stuff. He was disqualified from active duty. But in late 1941, after persuasion from his family, because like I said, his family was a bunch of politicians, they were able to get him into the Navy. Um, After 6 months, he was able to serve in the Navy. He went through background checks and stuff like that. So he wasn't really able to go in battle. Like he mostly was in like the Panama Canal. He wasn't really seeing action during the war early on. During the Navy, he just like was in Panama Canal watching over it, but he wanted to go to actual the battlefront, like in Japan or Europe. So he finally, after like persuading, I think one of his uncles or something persuaded someone in the Navy. He ended up being able to go to the Pacific to fight in the Pacific. But there, a near-death experience happened where what he and his crew were attacked by a Japanese destroyer. Pretty much, the Japanese destroyer like cut through their ship. Um, so pretty much it pretty much ended like with two people dead on his crew. He was hospitalized because of that. He got a couple awards from doing that. He saved a couple of his crewmates. In 1944, he was released from active duty due to his injuries. And from there, you would think he would be done, but no. When he came back to the States, he decided to get into politics as his bachelor's degree. Bachelor's of Arts was in government. And he was elected to the House of Representatives in 1946 and then to the U.S. Senate in 1952. Um, he had a reputation of being charismatic, informed, you know, uh, good friendships through leadership. His narrow victory in the 1960 presidential election was very important in American history, but a blemish was definitely the handling of the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962, especially from before the failed invasion in 1961, when the United States tried um, or they trained anti-Castro Cuban exiles. They were trying to dispose of Fidel Castro in a coup, but it failed. And with Cuba no longer trusts the United States, since it's only 90 miles away, Kennedy definitely was scared because now that Cuba was a Soviet ally, they're so close to the United States, and that's when the Cuban Missile Crisis eventually happened. But he kept his composure. He led the United States through not having a nuclear war. Um, Among other things, like he did was he proposed the Civil Rights Act of 1964, that later was passed in LBJ's administration in 1965. Tragically, Kennedy's presidency was cut short when he was shot by two bullets, once in the back that went out of his throat, and the other ones in the head. On November 22nd, 1963, in Dallas, Texas. He was there during a convention, a Democratic convention, or try to like get people to vote for the Democratic Party. He was only 46 years old. Unfortunately, he died about 30 minutes later at the hospital in Parkland Hospital. They ended up charging Harvey Lee Oswald, who was also on the run, or he was also had a he killed a police officer. So they tried him for that. But unfortunately for him, he never got his day in court because he was shot and killed by Jack Ruby. There's details of what actually happened there. They don't know if Jack Ruby was actually doing that on behalf of someone or the government or something. But it's kind of too convenient that Jack Ruby ended up killing the guy that killed Kennedy. But Lee Harvey Oswald to the day he died say he did not kill Kennedy. They say he said they use him as a scapegoat. So now we'll never know. Unfortunately. But yeah, after after Kennedy's death, Lyndon B. Johnson assumed the presidency because as he was his vice president. JFK's legacy provides insights into challenges and opposition of leadership in the modern era. Kennedy's commitment to civil rights, space exploration, and international diplomacy led to the groundwork for future generations. So things you should check out for you guys. Check out some sources or read some books or something. Is Unfinished Life JFK 1917 and 1963 by Robert Dullock. Also check out um, Problems of Courage by JFK. The Kennedys is a documentary you should check out. And you can also check out 13 Days, a memoir of the Cuban Missile Crisis by Robert F. Kennedy. Unfortunately, yeah, he did lose his brother. One of his brothers he lost during the war. He died in a plane crash. His older brother, and Robert Kennedy, unfortunately, was also assassinated after a political speech in California. I think he was running for governor or senator at the time. He got assassinated himself too. But yeah, this will be it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Um, make sure to follow me on my link tree below with my IG on there, my X, Blogger, YouTube. Check me out on Spotify, Twitch, Kick. Get your merch on Spring. I appreciate it. And thank you guys so much. In the next episode, we're talking about Demetrius. Yeah, be on the lookout for that. Thank you guys so much, and see you at the next one. Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Everlasting Talk. For more content, follow us on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram at Everlasting Talk. Thank you.